Cheers, guys! The reason why you need to be drinking Ghanaian spicy ginger tea this fall and winter is that the tea is filled with the right amount of the right ingredients to combat cold, flu, and sinus infection this coming cold season. It tastes so good, and it is all natural, good for your body. There's no cooking, there's no hard preparation for this um, recipe, guys. It's just all natural ingredients, washed, cleaned, and just blended with a good amount of water and some sweetener. It is so good. Hey friends, how is everyone doing? Angie here. Welcome back to Angie's Corner. Thank you guys so much for your support and love. The first video went up like 2 days ago and it's been amazing. All your comments, all your support. I really appreciate it, guys. So today we're gonna make a quick recipe. This is the Ghanaian spicy ginger tea. Ghanaian spicy ginger tea. So why I decided to do this recipe, guys, it wasn't even on my radar, but I had a special request from my auntie because I've made some for her in the past, and she's having some respiratory symptoms, and she wants me to make more for her so she can clear it before it turns into something major. So Ghanaian ginger tea is usually, in Ghana, it's like a street drink. I don't recall my mom ever making it at home. We would usually buy it at school or something like that. But recently, since people, oh man, I thought my video had stopped. But recently, as the benefits of this tea has become known, people tend to drink it when they're not feeling their best or when they feel like they need an extra boost for their immune system. So it's really great. So the main ingredient of this drink is ginger, of course. Ginger. We're going to be using about 2 to 3 cups of ginger. Guys, I'm really trying to focus, but I know the sun is out and you may not see it very well, but this is ginger, really washed and cleaned, ready to go. And ginger, as you guys know, has so many medicinal benefits. It works as anti-inflammatory, antibacterial. It helps with respiratory infection. It helps with immune system. It helps really boost your immune system. It works in so many ways. I know everybody uses ginger nowadays because everybody knows the benefit. So we really don't need to go into depth about this. I remember growing up, whenever I had like a strep throat symptoms, my mom would cut a piece of this and dip it in sugar and have me chew it, and it was great for me. So never ever leave the supermarket without buying ginger. You can either use it in your food or just chew on it. So it's great. So the next thing we're going to talk about is my Quintia or Uda or Negro Pepper. Such a weird name, Negro Pepper. But anyways, so this right here, again, it's used in many Ghanaian recipes, but it's specifically used in the Amuduro tea because this thing right here helps with gastrointestinal issues, like if you have stomach pain or battling ulcer or something like that. This is what you need. It's so great for stuff like that. It also, I read an article that this helps battle lack of menstrual flow, so it increases your menstrual flow. So if you're somebody that has issue with that, you can definitely look into that. But be warned, just like anything else, too much of anything can be bad for you. So make sure that you're using it in the right proportion. It also, I've read, this is so weird, I've read that it can work as a natural contraceptive. I have never used it, so I don't know. But if you have used it or know somebody that can attest to this, please comment below and let's explore that topic together. You know what I mean? So the next thing on our list, we're going to talk about the cloves. Those little tiny things, guys, it is filled with so many benefits. this right here. It's filled with so much flavor. I never used to include this in my dishes, but I've started about a month ago and I love it so much because the flavor is different and it's so good, and it helps with digestion. It also works as an anti-inflammatory, antibacterial. So you know it's going to help your body. It helps with the immune system, guys. As the fall approaches and the winter, also we have to make sure that our immune system is like up here, working up here, because you don't want to be sick from work or from school or from whatever you do, taking care of your kids. You want to be strong, optimum health. So make sure you're including this in this tea and in your recipes at home. It also helps cure respiratory infections, so maybe that's why my auntie want me to get this to her as soon as possible. It also helps relieve stress. It helps with heal your wound. Next ingredient that we're gonna talk about is my red chili pepper. Red chili pepper. Guys, pepper do have benefits. I know there are a lot of you who are afraid of pepper and like stay away from there, it's not good for you. Yes, too much of everything can be bad for you, but in the right proportion, pepper can help relieve pain, and it can also fight infection, and it's good for toothache, arthritis, and above all things, it stimulates your blood. And when you're sick or you're infected with disease, you want your blood circulation to be stimulated in order for you to fight that infection. So that's why we have pepper in this recipe. The last ingredient on this list will be our cinnamon bark. Like I said, Ghanaians normally don't include this, but I love the smell of cinnamon. I'm not 100% in love with cinnamon. I don't include it in everything I do, but sometimes I have cinnamon tea, which is good for you. It helps aid in digestion, so it's good for you. And it treats nausea, cold, and inflammation, guys. And the bark has some good essential oils in it that can work as antifungal. So, and maybe antibacterial. So that's why this is very good. But when you guys are getting it, don't get the powder and, you know, dump it in there or something. Get the bark. Like with everything, whenever I'm getting something, I like to get, you know, produce or whatever it is, I like to get it in its natural state, and I think that's the best way to go. So that's all the ingredients that we're gonna need for this recipe. So the next stage, we're gonna just cut this up, pour everything into a blender, add water, and blend it together. So for the water we're gonna be using for this, we're gonna be using distilled water. So this recipe, we do not cook or steam anything. Everything is raw. So that's why it's essential to use drinking water or water that's filtered and doesn't have any bacteria in it, because you don't want to contaminate the whole, you know, pot.